TV and radio presenter Jeremy Vine has been giving evidence in court in Nottingham today. It's all part of the Crown Court trial of former BBC Radio Leeds presenter Alex Belfield, who is from Nottingham. He's accused of stalking the journalist and 7 other people. Mr Vine described Belfield as the Jimmy Savile of trolling. Well, Elise Chamberlain, as you can see, she's in our newsroom for us. Elise, can you take us through what happened today?
Well, and Jeremy Vine became visibly upset as he described the effects of allegedly being stalked by the former BBC radio presenter. Mr Vine told the court Alex Belfield became fixated, repeatedly accusing him of stealing £1,000 of BBC money. He said the saddest thing was when one of Mr Belfield's followers called him a thieving toe rag under a Facebook tribute to his late father. Mr Vine said, "I couldn't handle it." The £1,000 referred to was in relation to a memorial fund for a radio executive called John Myers, who Mr Vine had been friends with. The court heard the BBC donated £1,000 to the fund. Mr Vine donated money himself, as did others, to help cover the cost of a memorial service. Any surplus was given as a cheque to charity and presented to Mr Myers' widow by Mr Vine at an awards ceremony later. Mr Vine said, "He's accusing me of stealing from my friend's memorial." He told the court he's taking defamation action against Mr Belfield. Mr Belfield is accused of stalking and harassing 8 people, including Mr Vine. The 42-year-old who lives in Nottingham now runs a YouTube channel. He's not accused of physically stalking them, but the prosecution say he harassed them by repeatedly sending emails, posting on social media and making YouTube videos, and that this amounted to stalking. Mr Belfield denies the charges.
And Jeremy Vine was actually cross-examined by Mr Belfield today.
That's right, yes. Mr Belfield is representing himself during the trial. A barrister has been appointed by the court in order to cross-examine witnesses, but the barrister was ill, so Mr Vine agreed that Mr Belfield himself could cross-examine him. During that, Mr Belfield asked Mr Vine, "You've described me as the Jimmy Savile of trolling. Why did you conflate me to Jimmy Savile?" Well, Mr Vine replied, "Because that's what you are. You are the Jimmy Savile of trolling." Mr Belfield said Jimmy Savile was a prolific paedophile who worked for the BBC. "Are you suggesting I'm a prolific paedophile?" Mr Vine replied, "The key phrase is of trolling." Mr Belfield also asked Mr Vine about the Facebook post in relation to his father. He said, "The only time you cried in this court was over your father. That wasn't a message from me. I've never made a comment about your father, have I?" Mr Vine replied, "I don't know." The trial continues and is due to last between 4 and 6 weeks.
OK, Elise, thanks very much indeed for that.